Benjamin Grosvenor, and it's so great to be here in Munich. I have a concert today at the Allerheiligen-Hofkirche, and I'm so looking forward to it. I always love being here in Munich. This city is so beautiful, it's so green, and it's so peaceful actually compared to London where I live. So it's always a joy to visit, and this venue is so wonderful for chamber music and for solo piano. And the weather has been glorious while I've been here, so I've been very lucky. Of course, the pandemic was so difficult for all artists. I mean, concerts were cancelled. For myself, in some respects, at first at least, it was a break that I have maybe needed for some time, and I took a little bit of time away from the piano, probably more than I ever have done before. I didn't play the piano for, I think, over a month, and I think before that it's probably the most had been 2 weeks since the age of 8. So it was an interesting experiment. Of course, it became difficult without any work, and you know, as it went on, it was great to have opportunities like playing, you know, for cameras and for streaming, but at some point playing without an audience became very difficult and slightly alienating. So I must say I was very grateful when audiences were allowed back again, and now that things are, you know, near to normal, I'm enjoying myself a lot. Why did I choose these 4 composers tonight? I don't know, sometimes putting a program together is not necessarily an exact science, and there's a sort of amount of instinct in it where you feel like, oh, well, this complements this well. I mean, it's like a chef putting together a menu, I suppose. But there are certainly connections between the pieces, and I think generally there's sort of this kind of program. I mean, the first half is quite serious. You have 2 pieces which are quite kind of spiritual in their nature, in the Franck Pellicaraon Fugue and the Liszt Sonata, and in the second half then you're in the world of colour with Spanish and French music. I think the Franck and the Liszt certainly have a lot of connection with each other because, I mean, for starters, they're both in the same key of B minor, but I somehow feel like Franck's Pellicaraon Fugue, which is such a individual piece and individually structured piece, owes something to the Liszt Sonata. Just the fact we have you know, it's a one movement work essentially. There's no stop between the 3 sections, and you have the introductory section, then you have the chorale, which is very much how the beginning of the slow movement of the Liszt Sonata is, and then he works out everything at the end with a fugue, which Liszt does in his sonata as well. So I think there are strong connections between those 2 pieces in particular. I think it's up to the personal choice of each young musician whether they want to engage in competitions or not. I mean, I did the BBC Young Musician when I was 11, and that's a competition for very young people, I think until the age of 19, and it's a very friendly competition. It's not intense. You know, there were months between some of the rounds. It's not it's not at all like doing the Chopin competition in Warsaw or something, you know. And I was lucky in that was all I did. I never did another competition after that. And I consider myself lucky in that respect because I think, at least for me, the environment of a competition would be something I wouldn't have enjoyed. But it's really up to each individual young pianist as to whether they are interested in that or not. But certainly it's a way to make a career. There are other routes to take as well, but certainly the tried and tested route is to do well in a competition. I think some of my most inspiring moments musically are probably working with other musicians. as a solo pianist, you play a lot alone, and there is something very special about the atmosphere of a piano recital. But there's then such joy in playing a recital, for example, like I did here with my partner Hae-Yoon Park, playing this wonderful chamber music repertoire and working with another musician so closely, you inevitably learn a lot, which then feeds into your own solo playing when you come back to a piano recital again. So I think perhaps a lot of my most joyous musical memories have been shared with others.